started. All righty. Uncle OGs worldwide. Back at you for another day with four other Uncle OGs. Look now, I know if y'all look at our videos in our past, y'all see that we lacking. And I agree. We lacking. But here we are today trying to do better. Um, each and every day. So shout out to the Uncle OGs worldwide who's listening. Uncle Frank not with us today. He might be in late. Who knows? It's a what? A Thursday. Anything can happen. So appreciate the Uncle OGs. Welcome back, OG Vincent. Don't kick it off and tell
Appreciate
the
it.
people
Glad to
hello,
be
sir.
back. Glad to be back. Been out for a minute, but back at it. Back in the saddle. Missed everybody. I've been watching though. I've been seeing some good things, good topics, and enjoying the shows that y'all done had.
All right. Triple OG.
What's going back? It's always good. It's always good to be with my homies, my fellows, my brothers. Love you all. Hopefully it's going to be a good old topic today as we keep this ball rolling. Roll on.
I hear Uncle Lou. Can you hear me, Uncle Lou? Uncle Lou, can you hear me?
I can't tell if he froze. There you go.
Hey,
Moved a
yeah,
little.
Uncle Lou got that Boost Mobile. We talking to you, Uncle Lou.
Not the boost.
Hey, look, he just staring at us. I don't think he can hear us.
I think he froze.
No, I think he's moving. Let me see. Y'all remember? Let me see.
Is he a, is he alive? God.
Hey, y'all remember in Boys and Men? It's like you all want to see a dead body. Lou, you back with us? I don't think he's.
There you go. Uncle Lou.
Well, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
putting on the
man, I'm
screen.
here, man.
Let me put it right here.
What up? I'm here, man.
Okay. All
Talk
right.
to me. I'm here.
All right. Say hello to the
Let's
people,
go.
Uncle Lou.
Go. Hey, man, what's going on? Unks and OGs worldwide. This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Lou. Welcome. Like Mr. P said, man, we've been absent, but we back. We back. We finna come with some real good wisdom, knowledge, and some good fun, man, and just have some great conversations, man. So subscribe, follow us on IG, Facebook, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. Let's talk, fellas.
All right. Cool. So, if you just to kick off the topic for the day, and there's a video clip, but there's been a lot of, I would say, at least in our area, in the Atlanta metro area, there's been a lot of violence. Would you guys agree that it struck our city in the last couple of weeks, where it be shootings among young people? You've had police chase, a lot of gun violence, and just violence in general. I think in the I would say last 3 to 4 weeks, it seems
Yeah.
like every other day something is happening, and that's just in Atlanta. I don't know if we're not keeping up with the other cities or other major cities, but um, the statistics say that violent crimes is down, but a lot of times what comes across our news feed is doesn't make it seem that way. I mean, you guys disagree, or you guys agree with that statement?
No,
Any
I
comment
agree,
on that?
man. I get up every morning and I turn on Channel 2 news every morning like clockwork. I see a shooting every morning in the Atlanta area. And yeah, it's disheartening, man. It's sad. The amount of gun violence, that is taking place.
Yeah, and it's typically young people. It's the young folks, right? Um,
Yeah.
it's the young folks. Matter of fact, um, was it last week? Yeah, I think last week there was a soft lockdown at the school that I was at, and I just kids will tell you everything. So I come to find out, one of the kids found out one of the kids. I won't say the area where it was brought a BB gun to school, and allegedly, this is what the kids are saying, that he had a list of people that I guess he wanted to get at, and so luckily, someone saw it, or I don't know what happened around with it, because those details aren't shared. Just know that there was a soft lockdown. We got a message to keep everybody in the room, and it only lasted luckily for maybe 25, maybe 30 minutes. But once we got out and then information started trickling in, found out that someone had an inappropriate item on campus, and just recently found out, from the kids airdrop everything. The word spread, and they kind of gave me a rundown of what was going on. That kid had a BB gun at school, and apparently he had like some type of list. And luckily, like I said, it wasn't as bad as we've seen or we could see it. So I don't know what the outcomes of that, in terms of what happened to the student or even what happened to the parent. So the video we're talking about today, I'm gonna show the clip, is this brother Charleston White gets a lot of flack because he is sensationalizing. I think he's a shock jock. He considers himself a shock jock now. So a lot of stuff that he says is for shock value, but I think he does sometimes. A lot of times he makes some valid points if you look past the rhetoric and the shock value that he's trying to do about what's going on and what some of the causes behind it. So we'll listen to this real quick, and we'll jump off and have a conversation about that, because again, if you pay attention, like Vince said, you look at the news every day, you're going to see violence, and a lot of times it involves young people. I don't have all the statistics around it, but it just perception-wise seems that violence, particularly among our young people, is still a major problem and problem. So let's listen to this video real quick, and we'll get into the discussion.
And they more prone to getting high and getting on dope. This that group. How we gonna correct that when we don't even like half our motherfucking cousins that's off in the ghetto with these kind of kids? We don't even like half our nephews. We talk about her, the girl that got these kind of kids. 4, 5 different baby daddies, and she with the shit. She fight, she smoke weed, she party, she drink, she with the shit. Her kids be the most dangerous motherfuckers your kids can engage, because they get to see all the shit your kids don't get to see. They get to see her mama friends come over in them little old bit of short, shaking that ass with them moose knuckles showing. That little nigga be in that living room looking at them moose knuckles, watching his mama. You think he ain't trying to fuck one of them little girls when y'all gone? Come on, because children mimic what they see and repeat what they hear. There's no other way to learn.
Let me ask you this. So a lot of the problems come from, I think, it comes from a lack of leadership.
The roots and the fruits are one and the same. Don't look outside your home. The roots and the fruit, it ain't got nothing to do with leadership. You done had a baby with this nigga. This nigga mild retarded. He's just handsome and fine and can play football. He was beat as a child. His daddy used to jump on his mama. So you done went and had a baby by some motherfucker you ain't had no baby by. And you done brought them into a situation, an environment that's not conducive to raising a healthy child. Don't look to your leaders. Look in the mirror. Fuck your leaders. This shit starts with where your mom and daddy meet each other at? At the club. They done got drunk just with fucking and done had you. They don't even like each other. And you stuck in the middle of this little nigga. This ain't your fault. Whatever that happened to you is not your fault, nigga. But goddamn it, boy, based on your choice and decision, you gonna have to go through some shit.
Right. Man.
So we got to
Boy, y'all can see me?
my nigga, look at the conditions. Look at the situation and the condition that this motherfucker in, and you have to prepare them based on the conditions that they in.
Well, I think the inception of the problem, we have to understand the diametrical difference between a man and a male and a female and a woman. So, based on that perception, what is your construct on that?
Most of our first children we have when we're males and we're not men. Most of us had kids when we was early teens, early 20s, so we lack brain development. And we trying to raise this child, we lack brain development, and we done rejected what our parents tried to teach us. I ain't gonna do my kids how my mama done me. I'm gonna give my kids everything. We don't understand discipline. We don't understand structure. We don't understand training. We done had a baby and we're in survival mode. And we forget what we done exposed this kid to when we first had him. So when this kid started acting up and having behaviors, we done kind of changed our life a little bit and kind of got it together. So now we're a little harder on this kid, but we forgot what we had this kid exposed to in the first 5 years of their life, which is the foundation of who they are as a person up to their temperament. Now we done had another kid, so we're trying to get it right with this other kid because now we have maturity, we have the brain development, now we have some life experiences. But we got to look in the mirror. They more sexual, they more violent.
All right. Uncle Frank, welcome to the show, my guy.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man? Can y'all
Hey,
hear
we
me?
good. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you, bro.
good.
Yeah, you came in. We were just
What's up?
jumping off on the topic. Did you catch that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had heard it earlier. And man,
Okay.
I think that's an excellent topic. When I say excellent topic, man, and bro ain't preaching nothing but the absolute truth. Absolute truth. And fellas, I apologize to y'all, man. I got a lot going on. I'm at the airport, and y'all know how that can be over here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna miss this topic for nothing in the world.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any jump off points? Because right now we're talking about. Well, I don't know if you caught the part, but lately, at least in our area, in Atlanta metro area, every day there's some type of other violence or something to do with the young folks, where they're doing the team takeovers or the shooting, the minors killing each other, running for police. The behavior is problematic, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and so according to Charles White, you got to direct it at the parents.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like bro said, the fruit bear root, man. You ain't got to look in the street. You ain't got to look for. See, we always want to bring the police. We want to bring our leaders into it. But the problem at home, man, a lot of time we don't want to take the responsibility for the things that have happened. But the truth is the truth. If we do a better job with our kids, man, we don't discipline them no more. We act like our kids are special when in actuality your kids are only special to you. They're not special to me. They're not special to Vincent, Lewis, nor Tori. And a lot of times we miss that point. So when things happen, we'll say, not my child, not my child. As for me, y'all know I had a kid as soon as I graduated from high school. My oldest was born. And it was like a kid trying to raise a kid. I know I made a lot of mistakes. I know I let her get away with a lot of things that only time and maturity could teach me. So yes, sir, everything he's saying is nothing but the truth. Your kids gonna mimic what they see you do at home, and now the parents or grandparents at 35. I'm talking about grandparents at 35. So at 35, unless you are grounded, have been married a couple of years, women at 35, and I'm not trying to be point the finger at nobody in particular, but a lot of women at 35, man, they think they competing with the girls that's 25 and they grandparents at that age. So kids gonna always mimic what they see us do. And like for us, we gotta be that corner block for our grandkids to see what stability look like. We really do. And I am a Charleston White fan. Some of his rhetoric I don't agree with. When he be doing all the hooping and hollering, but when Holmes tone it down and you really listen to what he's saying, bro, he be preaching the truth now. I can't go against none of that. Everything that he said to these gentlemen were the truth. And I appreciate how he said it because those guys tried to elevate their educational lingo and bro brought it right back down to common sense terms. So yeah, I appreciate it. I really did.
OG Vincent, you want to jump off that?
Yeah, man, I'm a huge Charleston White fan. I sent the video because I felt like it was very enlightening, and I can relate to a lot of it. I raised 2 boys, until I, met my current wife, which we've been married 24 years. But for a minute, I was a single parent with my 2 boys. I was a young parent, so I understand exactly what he's saying, and I remember having a conversation with him together and apologizing for my aggressiveness, I guess I could say. All I know how to do is be your dad. I can't be your mom. So a bunch of the nurturing, the hugging, the baby, it's gonna be okay. I didn't know how to do that. I couldn't do that. But I could teach you the hard parts of life, which they got a lot of. And the youngest one stepped out and said, "Well, Dad, we understand that you ain't got nothing to apologize for. You did the best you could with what you had." And that was heartfelt to me because I felt like he understood. They understood the situation a little bit. But I know it at some points in life, there was some resentment, like Dad, the devil, you know? And but now for me, it's not like I had my first son, then the second one, and I learned. For me, I didn't learn till my grandkids came into play. I was a lot older, a lot mature. That's when the maturity set in. And I learned a lot of the errors that I made with my kids and my boys raising them. I make those same mistakes now. And that's how I was able to go back and apologize. Like, look, some of that stuff was harsh. And, but you got to understand the mental state at that point. I'm a single parent, working 2 jobs. I ain't got time for the bullshit. I got to get up, go to work in the morning. Y'all cut this shit out. And it was, sit your ass down, time to go to bed, eat your dinner, get your homework. We stayed on the right track, but it was aggressiveness that got us there. So I do understand, exactly where you're coming from. And I do agree 100% that it starts in the household. I don't blame our police department in my community. I don't blame no sheriff, nobody. I'm the direct reflection, and they are a direct reflection of me and what I raised. And so I'm proud of both of them. Now, one of them is in the police, law enforcement. The other one is in the military. Both of them married with families. So I kind of give myself a pat on the back, did a good job, but I kind of got to undo some of the look, don't make those mistakes. That's where I was wrong at. So, and I don't have any problem now, communicating that to them. A lot of times we're not able to communicate our faults and our mistakes to our children.
But bro, do you really think your aggressiveness, do you owe them an explanation or apology? Because it seemed to work perfectly.
I do. I feel like I do owe them an explanation for it because, those are young men going through life. And you got to understand that they at the stage now where you're learning. You're not there yet. You don't have the maturity level that I have now. I done been through some things in life that they have yet to go through. So I'm still teaching, and I'm grateful that they still around to absorb it and learn, with their children, because they have children now.
But I saw something, bro, that clearly states iron sharpens iron. So as sharp as your boys are, you did what iron's supposed to do. Iron's supposed to sharpen iron.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. And so
to a certain extent, Frank. That's a separate conversation. But I saw that come across my timeline once before that. Do parents owe kids apologies? And a lot of times we don't get to that level of communicating with our parents. At least not me. So I think that was great that you were able to have that conversation. And as parents, when you're in it, you're not even thinking about sometimes how you impact your child back in the day.
Yeah.
So
you're
like
just
the
trying to get
person
to
being the
tomorrow.
oldest. Yeah, you're trying to get through tomorrow. So I'm curious, Uncle Lou, do you have any experience around that? Do you have any Cause I can't remember. I think I was like 20, 23, 20 somewhere when I first became a father full time. So I wasn't the youngest Frank. I think Vince was around that age. Uncle Lou, how old you had your first child?
I want to say I was around 22, 23. Yeah,
22?
my son, he's
You
about to
feel,
turn 30. Yeah, he about to turn 30. So yeah, I was around 20, 23, somewhere around there with my older son. Yeah,
you feel like you made some mistakes that
yeah. So
y'all could talk about? Okay.
uh, I could say made some mistakes with his mom. But
Okay.
my three oldest kids was from a previous marriage. So
Hmm.
by him being the oldest, he saw some of the stuff or possibly heard some of the things that me and his mom went through. At that time, yeah, I wasn't the perfect husband. I didn't know, even though I know y'all always say, well, Louis, you had your dad as an example. I did, but guess what? It's so much different once you get in it. You know what I'm saying? Once you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
in something, I had that example to be a father and this and the third, but until you actually you're that husband, you're that husband and father. Now it's your turn, to lead by example. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not start off uh, as a role model, so to speak.
Hmm.
You know, again, if I think I said this before, I married, but I wasn't in love. You know what I'm saying? I married for all the wrong reasons. To be honest with
Mhm.
you,
Right.
I married just to have in-house woman, basically, and we
Mhm.
wasn't in love, and that's why I didn't work out. You know, so yeah, it's crazy. My son, he was over at my parents' house a few weeks ago. And he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "Hey pops." I said, "What's up?" He said, "I need some help with something." I said, "What is it?" "I need some help picking out a ring." I said, "What, you trying to buy
Okay.
yourself a piggy ring?" I said, "No, man. I want to propose to Malek." I said, "Oh shoot."
Mhm.
And I was like, "All right," because I've watched him go through that relationship phase, you know, uh, getting with a woman and ain't working out, they fussing and fighting and just going through it. But this one right here, I told him, I said, "Man, you better hold on." I said, "I don't know what y'all do behind closed doors, but just being around her, her vibe and the way she look out for you, you know, hold on to her, you know." But let me go back to something Charleston White said. He stated that the kids mimic and imitate what they see and hear. Us growing up, when company came over, where did we go?
In
Yeah.
your
We went to
room.
our room.
Another room. Get out grown
Shit.
folk
We
Yeah.
business.
went
You
to
ain't
Yeah.
do that.
our room,
Oh yeah.
or your ass outside.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, you didn't sit in the front row with company. You spoke and you went back to your room.
Hmm.
That was it.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
when food was ready, you was called to get your plate, you eat, back to your room or outside with your plate. So,
Hmm.
like Frank said, man, these parents are so young and so close to their children when it comes to age and the generation gap. It's no different, man. It's like, yeah, they have a party. The children are right there with them. They drinking.
Yep.
The children is right there with them. They dancing, shaking their ass. The girls are right there. The little boys are right there. Like you said, the little boys looking at these grown ass asses, and now all of a sudden, yeah, what would you think they doing when they go back to their room? You already know what they
Hmm.
doing when they get back to their room. They gonna
Porn.
they gonna
God damn it.
fantasize and exactly
Yeah.
they gonna jack off. You know what I'm
Yeah. Put that porn
saying?
on, goddamn.
And after seeing that for so many times, that's when they get aggressive, and then they're trying to start knocking off some of these little young girls, and some of these young girls start getting pregnant and stuff. You know, and that's how they get exposed to sex so early, man, because it's in their face. It's in their face. The rap lyrics. I mean, don't get it twisted. Yeah, we had Uncle Luke, we had 2 Live Crew, and all that, but I don't know. It was just different. It
Well,
was just different, man.
it was different. Like we did have that, Lewis, not to cut you off, but we couldn't play that loud in the room, in the whole house. You see what I'm saying? You had to put
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
You had your headphones on. You had it quiet. So although the society around us had these things that we could be exposed to, inside your house was a controlled environment. You couldn't just blast songs with curse words, none of that, in your mom's house. It was just unthought about.
Right.
So that's an example of the difference in what you said, what Charleston White says, from the root to the fruit. Yeah, we Uncle Luke was out there, but Uncle Luke wasn't getting, Mama wasn't blasting Uncle Luke, or or even like when we wanted to age ourselves, when we want to listen to like Richard Pryor Dirty Record, you just had to sneak and listen to like
sneak and do that. Yeah,
you had to sneak and do it. Cause they had it, but it wasn't just wasn't exposed to it, and our parents didn't allow that to happen.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Paulos. As I think about it, and I never really thought about it till now. My mom was military. My mom had card parties. But when she had her card parties and a company over, you go down in the back. You ain't got no business up here with the grown folks.
Yeah.
The type of music that they played, even the music still, because kids was in the house, it wasn't all that profanity, it wasn't vulgar, it wasn't like all that crazy stuff. Yeah. Now, what they did on it, you didn't know because you weren't in grown folk business. But nowadays, you hear the young folks in the car and like our genre of music, the vulgarness, the profanity, and your kids sitting right there, and then the kids are rapping this stuff.
Yeah.
I have to get on one of my grandsons all the time, like, look, hold on, man, turn that off. Like, switch from that. What you doing?
Yeah.
But his mom is listening to it with him in the car, so they think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly on that. Like, nah, that's not fine.
No, it's not. It's that's the problematic behavior that the parents allow. They don't think that it impacts the kids, but you're a 6-year-old kid should not be knowing anything about Cardi B, no Dracos, none of that song. They should be listening to Kids Bop. Anything they listen to has to be a radio version. If they want to listen to T.I., they need to listen to the clean radio version. There should not be a space where they're with parents and adults. And I'll tell you, the symptoms of that today is the language. The kids in the schools, in high schools, the language, they curse more than adults do, because that's what they hear. They hear that all day.
I'll give you a prime example. I'll give you a prime example. My 8-year-old grandson, way more advanced than I was when I was 8. He rarely played with toys. I had Transformers, G.I. Joe, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I rarely see him playing with toys. He's on the Xbox. He likes like Call of Duty, Fortnite, but it's way more advanced stuff. So I get it that more of their brain is unlocked, maybe, and they learn a lot more at a lot, faster, higher capacity than we did. But at the same time, you got to channel what they're learning, what you're putting into them. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to get like my daughter to understand, because they understand. Me and Tori had this conversation earlier today. Those kids, they understand and they can process a lot more and a lot better than you think they can.
Yeah, but they don't have the maturity. That's one thing he mentioned. You don't have
the
maturity
to decipher right and wrong.
Yeah, when it's appropriate.
Apply it correctly.
Yeah, because even the kids now, I'm like, when growing up, I would never think to even use profanity around an adult. But I swear, walking down the halls of these schools, you have to numb yourself to it, because you will be spending the whole entire day correcting language. Because I'm like, when an adult is around, you just knew that you did not talk a certain kind of way. But these kids, I'm telling you, there's some you can tell who are very respectful, and there's some who that's got to be the language that's being used in the house, because they're so free with it and flowing with it that it doesn't matter who's in the room. That they're they feel like they can all kinds of language. So you'll be surprised. And I had to turn I had to numb myself to it and not be offended by it, because that I have to understand that's what their parents are allowing. That's what one kid even told me. I'm like, that's how you talk to your mom? You're like, yeah, my mom used the same thing. I'm like, come on, bro. I can't be mad at you. I can't blame you. If your mom is okay with it and that's the type of language y'all use in your house, even though it's still inappropriate, I have to give you some grace until you mature enough to know that, hey, that's probably not what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Right now. That's the crazy
And I do understand one big thing I harp on. I don't care what nobody think about it. It might sound chauvinistic or not, but it takes men to raise men. I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that, because I still teach my grandsons, when you approach somebody, you shake their hand, you look them in the eyes, you stand up, and how you approach somebody and how you talk when you talk to another man. I think Tori and Uncle Frank done been around, well, Triple OG and Uncle Frank, they done been around my boys and my grandkids more than you and Lewis. But they can tell, like, I teach them all the same. I don't teach my grandkids no different. My grown kids that have kids will still say yes sir, no sir.
But OG Vincent, there's men who are teaching their boys wrong. There's a counter
exactly.
to you. You see what I'm saying? For you,
Yeah.
there's someone on that other side cussing their sons out, telling them this how you talking to them that way, and they talking back and forth this way. So, like you said, they're mimicking. Where your boys are mimicking you, there's some men out there who their sons are mimicking them. Because this one kid I was having a conversation with, he's talking about guns, and his dad got a switch, his dad showed him this and that. And I'm just like, okay, so your dad's not teaching you. I didn't say this to him, but in my mind, I'm like, your dad's not teaching you to respect weapons or to talk so freely about it. Like
proper gun etiquette. Yep.
Yeah, your dad's not teaching you that. So you're talking about, my dad got this switch, my dad got this, and they always, I hate when they do that. They always, and this is where Ja Morant doesn't realize his impact. They doing this, when they do that shooting motion, they doing that. I'm like, y'all got the wrong mentality with that. Because again, somebody who's really about that life, you can't go around pretending fake gun shooting at them. You can't do that.
I'm gonna tell you, in high school, I took Sergeant Phillips class. I had Sergeant Phillips and Sergeant Miles. I guarantee you, if they was alive today, any of these kids, you play that, you're gonna get stomped in your chest. Because that is a threat.
Yeah, they're gonna knock shit at you. You talking about some Vietnam vets. They ain't even, you can't play with them like that.
No playing.
Yeah, they
zero tolerance.
But that's the kids. That's what the kids. I'm telling you, the kids going around doing that. They doing that Draco thing at each other. I'm like, bro, you can't. Y'all don't understand. How that would affect someone who is really about that life or who is in that culture. So
it's a trigger. It's a trigger about for somebody.
Go ahead, Tori.
Yeah, I don't think it's society now, social media that gives out.
We can't hear Tori.
I can hear Tori. I can hear you, Tori. Okay. Yeah, Frank can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay. What I'm finna say though, y'all don't think social media things change now? Because let me give you something. Like, I was watching some of the old cartoons. I was looking at He-Man. If you watch the old He-Man and the old G.I. Joe cartoons, and even the Mr. T, at the end of every episode, they give you a lesson that was learned after that episode. They don't do that in cartoons no more. If you ever watch some of them old cartoons, it's always something at the end that will tell you about what you should have did there. Even the music we listened to back then, even the rap, it said no to drugs. Even though they were saying no to drugs, and then they walk off stage, then turn around and start doing drugs themselves. But they never promoted that. So I blame social media on that.
No, but Tori,
I can't blame social media because you dictate what takes place in your house and with your kids. Like, you are the end all be all.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like you said, we grew up in the household where my mom always say, "Do as I say, not as I do." You get where I'm coming from? Even though I heard my mom cuss, and I'm 52 years old now, and I feel funny cussing in front of my mom now, and I rarely would say a cuss word in front of my mom, because to me that just instilled in me. I'm not, I might say maybe damn or something like that, but still I watch what I say in front of my mom. Don't ask me why.
Dude,
It's just that.
But that's a respect thing, Tori. That's a respect thing.
yeah.
But that
Dude,
was
we grew up together, and you know I cuss like a sailor. Anytime I'm around your mom, you ain't gonna never hear me cuss. Ever.
exactly. So when they say we mimic our kids, I think we failed our own kids because our own kids think it's okay to sit there and cuss with your kid. I was watching. I ain't gonna say. I was looking at the.
No.
No, I disagree, Tori. Our kids don't think it's okay to cuss with your kids. What you saying? What do you mean?
No,
when you
I'm
say,
just saying some of our peers. I was looking at one of our peers. They was on social media and their daughter was at a concert, and they was filming their daughter. So they're rapping and cussing every lyric. And then she goes, I guess somebody said something to her because she went back later and say, hey, she asked me if it was okay to cuss. I said it was okay. I mean, you see what we felt in our society on that point?
No, but that ain't the society. That's what Charleston White said. That's the parent. If a parent gives your child permission, or your parent does that, and you give them a permission to do that, so that's
society
on the parent. That ain't society.
Mama, daddy make it okay. Who's ever parent in the president in the household, mama in the household, I don't care if it's a single mama, they should make it okay. You only in the door what you allow in the door.
Exactly, but I still say it's our generation was failed the kids because it's our generation are the kids that's running out there doing that crazy stuff. It's our generation got the YNs out there. We failing our kids today.
Yeah, I agree. But that's what Charleston White is pointing at. It's not society, it's the household. It starts in the household. It starts with the parent.
So it's us. Yeah. It's me. It's all 5 of us. It's our fault. Whether we fell in our generation, because it's our generation that got those YNs out there.
It's really not. It's the next one, but go ahead.
What you mean not the next one?
It's not Generation X. Like most of our kids, other than I think Frank got Frank got the youngest one on here, but most of our kids are adults.
Most of our kids are the 20 to 30-year-old. And it's
right, but these are.
I'll give you. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I'll give you a prime example, and it's right here on this podcast. Have you ever heard Man cuss? Have you ever heard Man cuss?
Did Man cuss, Frank?
Oh, me?
No, that ain't what I'm asking you. Have you ever heard Man cuss?
No, I haven't. I haven't been him around. That's why I was asking Frank.
Exactly.
Does he curse?
I've been around him a lot. I've never heard him curse.
Frank, can you hear Vincent?
Yeah, I can hear Vincent clearly. I just can't hear Tori.
Okay. But I don't know.
If my son was close around y'all, man, you cry. I'm going, bro. My daughters are grown, and whenever we get together, they go out the room. Molest my son, man. Come on, man.
They address everybody. I've always heard his daughters address Mr. At the beginning. They address you properly. Like it starts with the parenting and what you teach those children. Regardless of who you are, it's your teachings. It's your teachings.
Right. So Tori, it is not society. It is, as Charleston White said, it's the parent. So society is you. It is you. Your job, your responsibility as a parent to guide your child or to filter things from society. You don't give your child access to everything as soon as they're walking. You know what I'm saying? You give them guide rails, and then you slowly remove those guide rails as they get older. You know, you don't just from the beginning they dictate whatever they want to do. Like I know my kids listen to those type of songs, but they're not blasting in our house. You see what I'm saying? They're not doing it around me. And you know, language wise, really is a non-issue. Like I hear my son on Fortnite when he out screaming with his friends. I'll see him drop a word in there. But if we're in there, if I'm around or anybody else around, he's not saying that. On a basketball court, I'm pretty sure if they giving it to him, he giving it back.
No, I agree with you, Paulo. Both of my kids the same way too. None of mine cuss around me, and I get that. I get that totally, but I'm still saying. I still say we failed. We were always brought up in a nice house.
No, it's our generation. Don't say we. It's our generation.
Our generation. But
I get what you're saying.
I'm still saying it's part of our generation that's still failing our kids because our generation is still responsible for some of them YNs that's out there.
Yeah, but you gotta understand
Well, I'm
what
just
Charleston
saying,
White is saying and like where that comes from. You got a lot of parents that didn't raise their children. The children raised themselves. We
and I think,
started to see that as we were coming up through high school. We got peers. We had peers in our high schools where they were raising themselves. Their parents were they were there, but they wasn't. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So you learn from your environment. So
But
you're a product of your environment and you teach what you taught. You don't know any better at some point. But as you get older, that's what he's talking about. Like at that 25 to 30 age, you're really still a child yourself. You're still learning.
we
Like
still
I say,
learn
even
from our kids though.
as a grandparent, my mentality with raising children is totally different than when I was raising mine. Totally different.
Because mine, Vincent, I'm kind of like you, but not so much because my son and my grandson, I'm really raising them together.
Yeah.
And I think that hey, how you doing, sir? I think I'm really having the same effect on both of them at the same time. And this is what's
Yeah.
crazy about it. Both of them are totally different. You know how you supposed to deal with people accordingly. But when we was raised, our parents dealt with us as one person, even though it was several of us, they treated
Yeah.
everybody the same. So they didn't have
Yeah.
time to say, hey, what your mentality is, what your
Right.
mentality. Hell no. All y'all gonna get this shit butt naked. How I got
Yeah.
it to give. That's why, Vincent, the way you raise your sons, I know I may be going a little back and forth because I'm at the airport. Um, I love how you raise them boys. Just you kept foots on necks and you kept foot in ass. See, that's a lot of stuff that's missing now because we trying to raise these kids as individuals. You got a house full
Yeah.
of kids. Your rules should be your rules for each and every person in that household. Just
Yeah.
because you're a girl, don't mean the rules should be different than from this boy. So you gonna
That's correct.
respect me, you gonna respect me. I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna beat your ass. It don't matter. We got to get back to that, man, because the further away
Yeah.
we get from that, the further away they get closer to this foolishness. And in a minute,
Mm-hmm.
somebody's gonna tell you kiss their ass. And
No,
you
because
tell
I'm gonna
me
tell
kiss
you,
your ass, I'm going to jail.
because we grew up with folks. We grew up with folks that done took lives. We grew up with folks
Mm-hmm.
that done lost their lives. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So at the same time, my mentality was I got two males, and I remember sitting in that statistic where they had five of us, and I forgot who it was that was speaking, but they said out of the five, only two of y'all gonna grow up to be successful, productive citizens. The rest of
Mm-hmm.
y'all gonna fall victim to prison, drugs,
Mm-hmm.
death.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up,
That shit was true.
Yeah, true.
So
Look at
my
me, Vincent.
mentality by the time I had
I'm the example out this group.
exactly,
Yeah, somebody
but
gonna fall.
you are an anomaly. You made it through some shit most people don't make it through to the level that you're now. You are an anomaly, whether you want to believe it or not. A lot of
But
people that
see,
went through a similar situation what you went through, Frank, they ain't here today.
but
If they
but bro,
here,
this
they ain't rocking like you rocking, bro.
but see, bro, this the thing that you keep missing that I'm telling you right now. I'm at the airport, finna get ready to go to Detroit. My daddy is
Exactly.
standing right here with me. You understand what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
to have a strong mirror in front of you. So whoever in front of you, that's basically your mirror. That's who you're looking at to pattern
Yeah.
yourself out there, man. And if you don't have that, or if you ain't got that father there, you need to have an uncle there. If you ain't got that uncle there, you need to have a brother. If you ain't got that
A
brother, god
grown
damn it,
ass
you
man.
need to have some grown
Yeah.
ass man to
A
show you
grown solid man.
what you
How to
doing
survive.
wrong. And if you don't
Yes.
have that, you gonna fall. You got to have something in that mirror to look at. And see, that's the problem right now. The problem is you have so many women telling you, hey, don't talk to my son that way. Hey, you can't goddamn handle my son like that. Hey, you can't do this. Hey, you can't do that. So
Yeah.
what end up happening is your son mimic his mama. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got a son that's emotional instead of logical. If he around a grown man, he gonna be logical. If he around women that wear short ass shorts and shake their ass all the time, whatever you get, that's what you got.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
hate to,
You gonna get
to
out what you put in.
generalize it. Yeah, that's it, Vincent. Man, I heard Shannon Sharp say the other day, man, if you limp in, you gonna limp out. So whatever you bring in, that's what you gonna get out. You can't thinking it gonna be something different, or you gonna do this or you gonna do that. It ain't gonna happen. And fellas, I gotta run and get on this airplane, man. I love y'all. Keep up the good work, and y'all, please, man, send me the video so I can see what's going on.
All right,
Uncle
brother.
All
Be
OG's
right,
safe.
out,
bro.
man.
Be safe.
Safe travels, bro. Safe travels.
Safe travel.
Blessings
Be
on your
safe.
travels, man.
If these folks, I get up in there acting crazy, I'm gonna slap the shit out of one of them. So y'all put your money together now. Hey, cuz
All
I'll
right,
see y'all
brother.
later, man. All
All
right,
right,
bye.
brother. Be safe.
All right, be easy.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that, and I mean, Lewis, you jump in here at any given moment, man, please, because you are the only one in the group that had like both parents active in the household growing up. I only had my mom. My mom had a military background, so like I said, that's where the strength came from and the zero tolerance for bullshit. Um, Dad went around. I think me and my dad actually started conversating when I was about 27 years old, and 3 years later, he passed. Um, Fortunately, my grandsons, well, my sons got to meet him. My grandchildren never did. But I want to get your input on is the topic as far as what we saying on the parent impact on their children and how it impacted you and how did it impact you on raising your kids and your grandkids.
I apologize, man. Repeat that a little bit on your question. My internet was fucking up. Say it
And
one
so
more
I
time.
kind of wanted to get your input because, like, you had both of your parents growing up, where is that's a little bit different scenario than most of us, the rest of us on the podcast. But I do want to get your impact on how did it impact you on how did they raising the impact it had on raising you and how it impacted you as far as raising your kids and your grandchildren.
Yeah. So I, the church, man, the church really. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me growing up, going to church on a regular basis and having that circle there kind of like saved me from interacting in the streets and getting involved in certain things. Man, we was at church, uh, every Sunday, all day on Sundays. Tuesday Bible study. Fridays, what is it? Choir rehearsal or something like that. So even though I wasn't in the choir, but my parent, I think my mom was or something, so I was always at the church. So I really didn't have that extra time or extra freedom with, to really get in a lot of trouble. On the weekends, on Saturdays, I was up cutting grass. I was out doing lawn work or pushing lawnmower up and down the street, making extra money myself, etc. So even though I didn't raise my children in me, so I still instill some of those values that I had, that I was brought up with. I taught them that. Now again, maybe my two youngest daughters, they got the most time with me because me and the three oldest kids, me and their mom, we broke up, we divorced, and we was in and out. So again, that's one of the things that I fought myself on. You know what I'm saying? That I had that example on what a father and a husband looked like, sounded like, was supposed to treat his wife a certain way. I the opposite. So I felt like I did neglect my children, especially especially my three oldest ones. I didn't give them all the love that my parents gave me by being underneath the same roof. But they do understand. To be honest with you, my oldest daughter there was a point in time where we was button heads, and she didn't understand. But Dad, why did you fight harder to stay with my mama so that we can all be together? You know, it was a lot of that back and
Yeah.
forth. You know, you could have stayed, you didn't have to go, et cetera, et cetera. You know, there's a lot of stuff that she didn't understand as being a child. You know, and unfortunately, by me not being there, they kind of suffered. Um, mm, I wouldn't I would say emotionally, they kind of suffered by me not being there with them day in and day out. And now, like with London, my daughter that's about to graduate now, my middle daughter, she's the one that has my two grandkids. She was the baby, you know, at the time before London came aboard. So man, she was jealous like a bug. For her. It was hard for her to understand. You wouldn't have had another child, Daddy. I'm the baby, you know. You supposed to be giving me all that love. Now she getting all this attention. I'm not underneath the same roof with you. I want to come stay with you, X, Y, Z. So yeah. But I will say this though. I will say this. There were times when, and I fought hard for my son. Cause like I think Vincent, like you said, only men can raise a boy to be a man. And that's what I was fighting hard to do. But at the time, I was paying that child support, and she didn't want to come up off that child support. So, you know,
Yeah.
that right
Yeah.
there interfered also with the development of my son. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
until later on that me and him was really to have that bond, and I had to teach him after the fact on some certain things that he just was not trying to hear. You know, now if he go with you, that means child support is gonna be cut, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
she lied on. You know, instead of getting out here working and
Bro,
making a
I've seen
career
a bunch
or
of stories.
whatever for yourself,
Yeah, well, they'll do
you
whatever
relied
it
on the
can
child support.
to not let their child support ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's
So
that's
it's
unfortunate.
interesting. I think also something to think about is a different perspective is 21.
Yeah, yeah,
I said 18 to
uh,
21. When we was growing
yeah,
up, our maturity level, I think, was much more advanced, and uh, that may have been impacted by society, because the way society looked at us, the way we were raised, versus 18 to 21 now. Now there are some kids who are very mature for 18, um, and so 18 to 21 is not that big. But now I would think you take the 18-year-old today and put them in the 90s or the 80s and become 18, that they wouldn't be able to survive. And that could be due to our parenting, us helicopter parenting, not giving the kids responsibility or doing too much for them. Whereas many of us, I don't know if we were latchkey kids. I don't even know if there's any latchkey kids left anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When
I grew up
we had
with
our
that.
own key, we got off the bus or walked from school, we went in the house by ourselves. I don't know if there's kids. Yeah, they allow kids to do that anymore, but
Push
we,
that down there.
you see what I'm saying? So I think our level of maturity with circumstances was forced upon us. Our parents had to work. Childcare wasn't the same thing unless you had a family member there. We had to figure it out ourselves. So we had to be more responsible then. We had to develop faster, learn how to survive, how to move quickly
Yeah.
versus now. So I don't know. Again, that may be, as you said, Tori, a product of the society we're in today versus then. But ultimately, I still think it comes down to, as Charlton White said, the parenting is problematic. And again, there was
It's in the
always a
household.
wall between us and our parents. We knew you ain't no adult. You know what I mean? There was no blurred lines. A child stay in a child's place, and then adults be adults. And I think that line is too blurred too many times. For now, I think, in
Yeah,
my
it's too much
opinion,
gray area now. There's too
yeah,
much
too much
gray
gray
area
area.
at this point in it. We didn't have all that. Yeah, you didn't have
No,
all that rope, like all that leeway. Mm-mm.
yeah, like these kids, even now, even in school, they be quick to think she say something to me. Oh, I'm gonna cuss her out. I'm like, this isn't a teacher. I mean, I'm like, you that comfortable where you got the backing of your mom's gonna be okay? They gonna back you because well, she gave me attitude. I don't. They're an adult. You're a child. You know. What
Yeah.
that was unheard of. Like a kid got ISS. I was like, why you get ISS? He's like, yeah, I had to cuss out this such and such. I'm like, you cussed out a teacher? Yeah, she tried me. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, how did she try you? She's there to try to teach you something, and it was your behavior that she was trying to direct you. So you didn't like her, or something. I don't understand it. Yeah, because again, that's what my generation does.
I remember being in a situation in school where I got in trouble for something that I didn't do, right? And the teacher, got on me and, pretty much was on me, scolded me. But I didn't respond to it. I talked to my mom about it once it happened because it went to the principal. They called my mom and everything, got up there.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom handled it. Like, I didn't go back and forth with the teacher and argue with him. That's an adult. Whether they wrong or right, it's not my place to argue with you.
Right.
I still respect the fact you're grown. I'm a child.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So I just talked to my mom. And now you let grown folks handle that. These kids don't have that respect level anymore. They don't respect anything.
But that's what they're being taught at home. What you saying, Tori? That's the permission that their parents give them. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to say they don't respect. Kids don't value respect no more, bro. Like you were saying, the fact that they cussing out teachers, saying all that. I remember I used to dread. You gonna call my mom? I ain't want my mom to know I was cussing in front of another teacher or parent. But you
were wilding like that, Tori, in high school? You was cussing in front of teachers?
No, what happened was like me and Tori grew up, came up through school together. You mess around, be with your little buddies, and the teacher catch you cussing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tori got you. Tori didn't even confess. It was Tori cussing. I knew it was Tori fault one event.
No. A lot of times.
It was. But that's what I'm saying. That's the problematic behavior that the parents are not blurring the line. They're not keeping children in children's
well, I got a question for you, Paulo.
Well, we got in trouble. We got in trouble in elementary school for playing Freaky Friday.
Oh yeah.
And we got caught.
Yeah, they let you know how we got in trouble. But hey,
all those was in the principal's office, and all our parents was up there.
We was all in there boo-hooing.
Now y'all want to cry. You trying to be grown now. How about that?
Well, you get me started with that. But I want to ask you, Paulo, because this is a good question, because we always assume since you're on the project, did you have that problem at Blaylock? Was kids rudely cussing, or that just stereotypical,
No, because that begin at that time. It wasn't. It's not a social. It wasn't at that time a socioeconomic thing. Were we exposed to some of the things that you probably guys not have seen? Possibly, because again, we didn't hang out in a trap, but we knew what a trap was. We knew where some of that stuff was at, but we still said yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And we never challenged an adult. So we still could be chastised by another adult in the community.
So what you saying, just because, I'm just speaking, I ain't saying, I'm not stereotypical. Could you think like, okay, that's a project girl. So you thinking, okay, kids, women who are project tend to not watch the kids more. So you saying growing up, y'all didn't have none of that? You didn't have
you did have and the one that Charleston White is talking about is you did have. It wasn't the majority. You did have like a family, a mom who might have had like 10 kids, and the kids was off the chain. But the mom, the kids couldn't cuss out an adult, and the mom would back them. It was just she just had too many kids that she just couldn't control them all the time. But trust and believe, the community regulated that, and you did have those families where where that happened. I'm not saying that didn't happen at all. But that wasn't the majority. The majority of kids still out there respected their elders. They respected an adult. So if an adult told them to do something or something like that, you wouldn't say that to that adult. You might disagree. You go tell your mama, and then your mama might handle it or talk to them. And so not saying that stuff didn't occur, but that wasn't the majority of it. We We went to church. Just
So when
like
you
everybody did, we did Sunday school. So it was the only thing was we lived in low income housing, and until the drugs came out there, it was just low income housing. No more than anyone.
when the drug pandemic came, did it change things a lot toward the school?
Well, because it
How about
did.
elementary when you was in Blaylock? That's what I'm really referring to.
It didn't change the school. It didn't change what the kids did because the school was still like a safe haven. It was a place of respect. So it changed the community, but it didn't change the school. No, not really. I mean, you did have, one of those. You did have those moms because we lived in a community who would walk up there with their little hair thing on, but they was coming there to correct you. So like if you got in trouble or the school called, your mama popping up whatever she got on to handle it, and she going back to the house.
Okay, and I get that. I'm not saying that just because me and Vince went to GA time. We had some unruly people too, but I guess I'm thinking the stereotype that it was probably more in your elementary than it probably was. But I guess it went like in your classes. How many you think was probably in your class? Did y'all have small class or big class?
No, we had a big class. We had a lot of kids. And remember, back then, elementary school went up to 7th grade, and we got paddled. Corporal punishment was just like y'all was saying. Y'all call it Freaky Friday. We playing is it hide and go grip? I think that's what it was called back in the day. Where we chasing a girl, 5th grade, and one of the girls got mad or something like that, and she told. And then of course the whole class, they didn't call our mom, but the whole class had to go to the principal's office. And one by one, we had to put our hand on the desk, and everybody got hit one time with the ruler. Dr. Dobbs did that.
So y'all got whipped in school too? Okay.
Yeah. So so that's what it was.
At GA time. What about y'all, Lewis? Were y'all getting whooped up there at LP Miles?
Yeah. Yes, sir. We had them old school teachers. They ain't give a damn.
That ruler, everybody had that ruler. They had that long ruler, and the principal had a big one.
I know we got it.
They pulled that damn ruler out in the heartbeat.
So that was pretty much what you all say in the 80s. They were still whooping across the board in every elementary school.
And I wouldn't even say it was whooping. It was just, I guess you call it corporal punishment, but it wasn't like nobody was getting beat. You get one. Or like I said, everybody got hit one time. Or, you put your hand out there and you're like, they get their hand. But that was enough. Even the threat of it was enough to, get you to act right. That and calling your mama. So, yeah, you're like, nah.
Okay,
I don't want that type of.
At a grand scheme of things, fellas, do you think they can bring that back, or you think
they can't bring
it
back?
It's too far gone right now. It's too far gone right now.
It worked for us, and it kept us on the straight now. Why couldn't it work now?
Because
I ain't saying it won't.
We're different
I'm
society,
saying,
right?
But they got different laws.
Generation is too far gone. It's gonna take a generation.
Shit, hell,
fall off.
you can barely.
Lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Charleston White make a statement that what can this generation do to be corrected? He saying nothing. They're gonna have to die off. I tend to agree because you cannot correct that behavior. I don't think you're gonna be able to correct it.
But I know
it takes tragedy. It takes tragedy for them to change, and the tragedy, unfortunately for them, is death.
But I hear death, but I'm just saying we bring back punishment and whoopings and rulers in school. You think? I mean, it worked for us. It got us on the straight and narrow.
But what age do you start? Because now, like you said, the older kids are too far gone. Because you remember, the older kids now they're fighting teachers. They're cursing teachers out.
Yeah, they fighting teachers.
So if you try to, and I know it didn't happen in high school. I don't recall anybody getting corporal punishment.
We had some people.
But at the elementary level, it did. So you technically technically could do it at the elementary level. But it's really the issue is really not the elementary level. It's really once elementary kids, for the most part, are still fearful of the teachers. A lot of times their parents. No, but I'm just saying, not all of them.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key, Paulos. I think that's the key right there, because if you instilled it in the kid at a young age, by the time we get to high school, that respect level there for your elders and for the teachers and authority figures was there. So you didn't do it in high school.
Right.
So
but that's what I'm saying. You could do it.
It's being missed at a young age.
You could potentially do it. That's what I'm saying, at the elementary level. But what I've noticed is the transition from the elementary school, it's the middle school kids who make it become problematic. Because
But
even
Paulo, if you started, like Vincent said, if you start in elementary, you wouldn't have that problem when it comes to middle school.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that if you did it, you would have to start at the elementary level, which would be what, another 7 years before you have that impact all the way. Because you remember, those middle school kids got to go on, those high school kids who are current there got to go on, and that I said that would be the challenge. And
It's gonna
plus
take a
those
whole
parents,
cycle.
Well,
yeah, it's gonna take a whole cycle.
It's gonna take a cycle too. But see, the problem is the generations coming up. They don't believe in
Yeah, they
they
don't
don't
believe in
believe
it.
in
These parents are not gonna
spoil
do
the
it.
child theory. Yeah,
Okay,
they don't believe in, like, I hear a lot now. Oh, I don't believe in spanking.
okay, but I'm gonna ask y'all because each one of y'all, except for me, all y'all are grandparents. Would y'all be okay if y'all grandchild got spanked in the hand? Lewis, I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
you first. Would you be okay your grandkid to get a whoop in the hand?
For me, I can speak for me, because for me, I know, even with my grandchildren, I know the teachers, I know the principal, I know the assistant principal, I know their teachers. So I have a relationship with those people. I don't have a problem with them discipline. Like, if my grandkids get in trouble, they call me directly. Everybody doesn't have a relationship like that.
Okay, I get you.
You got to know the environment your child is in.
Okay, I get you on that, but that's you hands on. But when I'm asking you, would you be okay across the board if your grandson or grandchild is getting active in school? Would you be okay them disciplining, getting a spank in the hand? Would you be okay with that?
Personally, I would be okay. Me personally, I would be okay because of the environment and the situation I've developed and built. I would be okay.
You're okay with it, Ben. Lewis, are you okay with it?
Yeah, if it's justified, yes.
Okay. What about you, Paulus? You okay your grandkid getting spanked?
Yeah, if it was, like I said, if it was justified, if it was, and because the communication is so much easier now than it was before. It wasn't. Now they can communicate directly to you before the behavior becomes to that point, and then you can correct it. And then you can, in front of the kid, I gave them permission. If you do this again, if you get out of line, you see that pedal over there, that's what you're gonna get. Before they had to call, what I'm saying? They had to call your mom at the work, or, if they tried somebody at home, it wasn't as easy to access parents back then. Your mom, like, don't call me. They had at school call me with the foolishness, or, if they called me, now everybody at work in my business. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was your mom would walk around with a cell phone. They had to call the job, or front office, or wherever it was. Then that job would call them over the intercom, like, Miss Barnes,
dude,
you got to call.
I remember my mama telling the teacher.
Yeah.
I remember my mama telling the teacher, "I'm at work. He is your responsibility now. Handle it how you need to handle it." I remember that vividly. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because I know what my mama was gonna do if she came. So my mama telling her, "Hey, handle your business." Now, see, for me, like I said, with my relationship, I done had a teacher FaceTime me, show me my grandson cutting up in school. I think for the environment. Now, I do understand it's a different culture now, so you do have to be careful with these kids. I ain't gonna say no names of the schools or nothing like that because I don't know where it's at right now. But a teacher just got fired from one of my grandkids' schools because of behavior. So you got to know the environment you put your children in or grandchildren in. You got to be active.
Yeah, it was community.
And it's more. You got to be more active than before because of the technology and everything that's going on. They got schools now where you can log into the account and you can pull up the cameras in the school and see what's going on in the class.
You had longevity, you had consistency in there because a lot of times the teachers were at the school forever. Like Miss Grissom, she probably, was the teacher there when my aunt then was there. You know what I'm saying? My older cousins was there, so she knew my family personally. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teachers knew the family personally. You had your child. Oh yeah, I had your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So the relationship was there. you know, the consistency was there because they didn't jump around like this every
Right.
couple of years. That teacher was there for a long time. And so they had a they had a relationship with the community, the parents, and they knew multiple, you know, kids. So that's how it was. So that would have to return as well. Sorry, you know. So that would have to, that relationship is fractured, and it had to come back as well. But again, just to circle back to where we were at, it begins with the home. Parents, teachers can't, educators can't make you come to the school. They can't make you have a relationship with them or the school. That's something as a parent that you have to, you know, you got to
understand. A lot of teachers are restricted now from the level of discipline they can have with a child because of the parent. Don't put your hands on my child. Don't say nothing. Watch how you talk to my child. Wait a minute. Your child disrespected me all day, every day in my class. And you gonna tell me, like, get him out my class. Dude, my rule at my house, and Tori know this well. If your child ain't gotta mind me, keep him the fuck out around me. That's my rule.
You get it, but you know what? I hear so many young parents nowadays, they'd be quick to holler, that better not touch my damn child. Cause I'm going up the open ass. So you
ain't gonna deal with you or your child.
But I mean,
that's just me.
But I'm saying, but I hear it so much, so many young parents. My point is, if they're saying that what I hear, their kids are hearing the same thing. So they say
the kids know, they know.
Because they know.
They know that the teachers are limited. Teachers can't touch them. They know that even it's a challenge to get them to discipline them because they basically want you to write them up, but they really don't want you to write them up. They want you to handle it first because administrators don't want to have to explain, you know, this behavior issue because they're beholden to whoever the regional person is to make your school look a certain way. So they got to play the politics of it. So if you got too many kids being suspended, oh, what kind of school you got running over there? You can't handle your school. You know what I mean? You got a discipline issue at your school. So the administration wants you to handle it in the school without having to, you know, move it up to outside of the school because then they got to air their dirty laundry. Then the school, you know, school board got to get involved with it. You know, if you suspend the child or expel the child, school board got to get involved with it. And now they come in, they looking at
accountability, man.
But you're
it's accountability. You're accountable. You're accountable. I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you produce. You produce them children. They're only in school because you made them children.
True, but I give teachers so much props, y'all, because if you got a parent that has an idea of like, you know, you better not touch my child. So my point is that teacher's more reluctant to even help that child. You get what I'm coming from?
Exactly. You need to homeschool your child.
You know what I'm saying? But
you need to homeschool your child.
Because you can't put them out. So now I got to deal with your child, and your child is disrespectful, but then I still got the whole other classes for. So of course
you need to homeschool your child. Now you put him in a position where this child finna be probably socially awkward because he don't know how to deal with other people.
But the moment you put that child out, they holler, or they doing me wrong. I work every day. I can't take care of my child.
They picking on me. No, they kid like, this teacher just picking on me. She keep looking at me. Well, you the one keep talking. Why wouldn't they look at you if you're the one talking? And how even the way I'm telling you, the way you kids try to talk to adults. Oh, she tried me. I'm like, what? Are you talking to an adult like that?
I can just imagine.
Because she asked you to be quiet, put your phone away. Example.
Say that's your response. She tried me.
Yeah, she tried me. I'm like, because you had your phone out because you were talking while somebody else, she was trying to, you know, teach, and she tried you. Come on. So, you know, again,
my grandson has a cell phone. Kids are allowed to take the cell phones to school, but you're not allowed to use them in class, right? My grandson's cell phone does not go to school. If I catch you with that cell phone in your bag and you leave out of this house with that phone, if I catch you, that's your ass. Because you're breaking my rule. I don't care what everybody else doing. What I tell you, your cell phone don't go to school.
Yeah. But see, you're probably the minority. Like, what if it's an emergency? That's what their big argument. What if I need to communicate it? What can a child do for you at the school, in the school. They can't. So
School will
it's just
call me.
an issue. Yeah,
Your teachers call me. Your teacher got a cell phone. They
yeah.
know how to call me.
That's what it
Don't
is.
worry about it.
So
You be all right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we're gonna have to try to get some educators on here to talk about their experience in the school. That'd be a great spinoff on that. But all right, fellas, we're about to
That'd
wrap
be a
this
good
up
idea.
real quick. Let's get our closing remarks. OG Tory over there yawning. Go ahead, brother. Give us your closing remarks.
Closing remarks is, I guess I want to say is, yes, we are a product of our environment, but we also are a product of what we're brought up at home. So all kudos out to Pamela Daniel. She raised me to who I am. I respect her. I'm always proud to say I am a mama's boy. Thank you, and forever love my mom.
All right, Uncle Lou, closing remarks.
Damn, hey man, I want to just echo what Charleston White said. Fuck them leaders, man. We are the leaders of our kids and our grandkids, our wives, girlfriends, you name it. It started at the house. You know, we can't look for a pastor, a congressman, a mayor, senator, a president to raise our family and to instill those values into our family. So hey, at the old age of 50, 51 years old, I'm still learning, and I'm still learning, certain things that I still have to do. Because now with my children, when my daughter about to graduate next in a couple of weeks, I still got grandchildren, and as being a grandfather, they still gonna be looking up to me. So I got to make sure that I'm still doing the right thing because they do pay attention. So when they're around, there's certain things I can't do, certain things I can't say. I have to be that leader and an example to them, and I look forward to it.
All right, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna let you close out, OG Benson. I gotta agree with brother Charleston White on this point. It starts with parenting. It starts with the home, and then it goes out from parents to grandparents to aunts to uncles, and to OG. So I will take responsibility as an uncle or a family member. We are failing some of our little nephews or little cousins if we see that behavior early on and then we don't interject. Now we are limited, so I give us that. We are limited in what we can do, but in some occasions we have failed in not interjecting, giving that young cousin or young nephew saying, "Hey, nephew, little cousin, that ain't the way to go. I know, your mom probably told you it was okay, it was cool, but that ain't gonna serve you in life." So at that point, I do take some ownership in that aspect of it. But initially, from the ground up, I believe that the parent starts with the parent and it goes out from there to the family. So as a family unit and with cousins and nephews and uncles, yes, I believe that we may have failed some of those kids. So G. Vincent, close us out, brother.
All right. I'm gonna put it to you like this. Okay. I pride myself on I see the end from the beginning. And what I mean by that is you go through life. You have children. Your children are your successor, right? So what do you want that to look like? And you raise them accordingly. You can't expect the leadership, teachers, whatever the case may be, to raise your children and instill in them, success or whatever your vision is for them. They have no idea what your vision is for your children. Only you do. You got to be accountable. You got to follow a path. You got to put in the work and raise your kids accordingly. It starts in the household. I can't blame anybody else for my children's failure. If my children fail, it's my fault.
All right. Well, appreciate you, brother. Until next time, shout out to the Uncle OGs worldwide, and we'll holler at y'all later.